Research actually shows us that kids who feel understood and children who feel that someone in their life gets them, that they fare better than children who don't have that. Research also tells us that children who have at least one adult in their life who they believe cares that they're in the world fare better than kids who do not. And programs like TAPS, I think, do both of those things. A program like TAPS helps a child see that they are not alone, that someone gets me. But it also gives them the opportunity to be matched with a caring adult who they are able to build a strong rapport and relationship with. And that buffers them against the effects of adverse childhood experiences, like the death of a parent or a sibling, or moves. Many of our children not only are dealing with the death of a family member, they've had to leave their home, many had to leave their friends, they've had to relocate, they've had to create an entirely new community. And so all of those losses are adverse experiences, and there's research that plays out that the more adverse experiences a child has, that it impacts them into adulthood. What buffers best against it, though, is if they have that one adult who they believe cares is in the world. And when they have that person, because that person brings moments of calm, it brings them down out of that level, that stress level, and children are able to have the opportunity, their bodies can recover, their minds can recover, they're not so focused on worrying about the things that have happened in their past, what's going to happen in the future, who's going to care for me now. There's all these other stressors that are part of it. So I will watch children come in, and they come in one way, especially their first time. They're kind of quiet. They walk into registration, they don't know anyone, and then they make introductions to other children and our military mentors and our group leaders, and you can see them just begin to realize this place is for me. And they become comfortable, we stabilize them and bring that safe environment to them. And then we spend the rest of the weekend, we give them a place to be validated in their grief. That's one of our key factors, is validating their experience, talking about their grief, helping them to put words to things they don't even have words for, because they're just things that are happening on the inside. We help children to create those words through art and through play, through interaction with one another, through conversation. We have circle time where they talk about, they can put some of that grief out into the group and be validated with one another. But not only do we spend time talking about grief, we also spend time over the weekend looking at life skills and healthy coping. And so we teach relaxation and mindfulness and ways for children to self-regulate. These are things that are going to help them throughout their life, not only with their grief, but with anything they might encounter. Because our goal with children is not to get rid of their grief. Grief isn't something we can get rid of. It's to help them to learn to live with their grief and to live with it in a way that's healthy and to grow into strong, healthy adults as a result. And then the last area that we focus on with our children is continuing bonds. We found that it's actually in our human nature to continue a bond with the people who in our lives who have died. And then when we can continue that bond and we can recapture the memories that we have of that person and who that person was to us and how that made us who we are today as a result of our relationship with them, that actually makes us stronger. And so we create opportunities for children to remember, to memorialize, to honor, to deal with difficulties that maybe they weren't able to deal with, to recognize how those difficulties carry over into their life now, sometimes understanding why they're angry, why they're behaving the way they are, and making some of those connections, and then tying that again to the life skills and learning how to regulate with themselves. So there's a real purpose for how we do it. It's intentional in the lives of the kids. But what you'll see as the kids, I said they'll come in, they'll be one way, and by the end of the week, you can see this relief. Like there's these kids who are just relieved. Quite often our children and teenagers alike, they won't want to leave. They don't want it to be over. And it really becomes a family, an extended family for them, because they know that there's someone out there that gets them, and they know that there's someone out there that cares what happens in their life. Without your support, we could not provide these weekends. It certainly costs dollars to be able to travel to where our children are and to put on these events and to ensure that those events are not only safe, but we have the right supplies, we have the right staffing, we have the right volunteer structure, and none of that would happen without your support of TAPS. So thank you for remembering TAPS when you give. Thank you for your ongoing support, and we thank you for the support that we know that you'll continue to provide into the future for our families, for our kids, and know that you're making a difference, and we'll do our best to continue to share with you the impact that your gift is having on so many lives. So thank you.